Alright, here is the video review for MAAS Toys Cybertech Series CT001 SKIFF, or Cybertronian Bumblebee. There's also a Goldbug version. And then there's been Volks, which was, I think, TFCon exclusive, and which is a white and purpley decoed one, or white and gray. And then they did ruin a glyph homage at TF Nation, a blue one. So right now we're just looking at SKIFF, and I do want to talk about the packaging on this one just a little bit, because I like how interactive they have been with the fan community on this one, because the box art on this is by Bobby Skullface. Yeah, and all the product photography was done by TJ Duckett. And if you scan this QR code here, or the one included, like if you open it, there's a plastic tray, there's no manual, but there's a little QR code you can scan to see the instructions. I actually did the video instructions for this one. So I thought it was really cool that they had a lot of us get involved with making this happen. And like, I'm totally down for helping out with anything they would like to do in the future, but part of me kind of hopes they keep that whole pattern going and maybe reach out some other reviewers or artists or photographers to do those same tasks on the next figure they release or anything like that. Like, I just thought it was really cool of them to, like, one, make a fun little toy, and two, include a lot of us in the promotion and the actual, like, the material they provided with it, the box art, the photography, the video instructions and such. I thought that was a really cool idea, and I was happy to be a part of it. But anyway, on to SKIFF himself. You can see he is reminiscent of Bumblebee's Cybertronian mode. He does have some wheels here on the bottom to let him roll around if you wish. And he rolls pretty well, all things considered. But yeah. And to transform him, again, I did this silently already. But here we go with, like, actual thoughts and step-by-step talking during the instructions. So first thing you want to do is kind of unpeg from right back here, just kind of lift the whole wing panel up. Like that. And just lift it up. You can kind of angle it up at this ball joint here at the body. The legs come down. The legs actually tab in under here as well. There's a little slot. So bring the legs down. Fold the lower leg up at the knee. And rotate it actually this way, because you want the black piece is going to be facing forward in robot mode. Now, when you fold up the legs, there's a trick to it, because you'll see this side comes down right before the swivel here, right here at this gap. You'll see this piece comes down to about here, whereas this piece, there's like a little indent and it's bigger. And you want this longer side to be facing the inside of the, like, towards the middle crotch, because if otherwise you'll bring this down and it won't quite come down all the way. It'll stick out at an angle. So you want to make sure that that'll give you the most range of motion in the legs, especially inward. You want to make sure that that longer piece without the little molded divot is on the inside of the leg. But bring it down like this. You'll see the wheels will fold up there into the body and rotate it around at the waist. And there's the lower body pretty much done. The arms, once you've got these loose, you can go ahead and pull the pistols out, or you can leave them in this back part to store. But then this end piece comes out, untabs from the ends of the thing, and it's on a ball joint and a little rotational piece here behind the wrist. So you can bring this down, and also the shoulders, they're facing this way, so the ball joint's on this, the opening is on the outer side of the arm. Personally, I like to just bring the arm down like that, because then it gives them a little bit more freer outer motion in the arm. But officially, you're supposed to turn this around at the ball joint, so it's more of a standard connection. But that does cause the arm to sit a little further out from the body. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. Officially, it's folded around like this. And these, you rotate his fist up, and these arm panels can go on. Again, you've got a couple options here. You can fold them out like this, so the rounded piece forms kind of like an arm shield from the front. Or you can bring it down And again, like I said, this ball joint, is this piece in between these two pieces, that disc rotates. You bring it down so you've got some clearance. Rotate it around like this, and then continue sliding it around. So instead of the round piece being on the outside, it's more curved to the back of his arm. Again, your choice. I think this is the official way, is to have it like this, but you have either option. And same on this side. Go ahead and rotate the shoulder joint around. Flip that, rotate it around on the ball joint, and then bring it up under the arm. And again, you can fold this around to the back of the arm, however you want to do it. And then this whole assembly right here pops up. You'll see his head. Lift it up and turn it around. This back piece cracks off here. No, disconnects here. And then there's a hinge that allows it to collapse up onto this piece. Now this piece, you can do this piece in several different ways. These little vents come up behind his head. Just flip them up like that. I have had this where it is folded straight down and sits kind of right even with those vents, and then you've got a bumblebee that looks like that from the front. It does cause this to sit down a little lower, but you can have it even like that. You can raise it all the way up and have it sit super high like that, which seems silly to me. But there's a hinge part here in the middle, the official transformation. This hinge here in the middle, you want to make sure to push that down and then back up here. So it's kind of making an L shape in the back, and push it up, and that will have this black piece kind of sit behind his head, but not, collapsed it the wrong way. Not so high up that it looked like the tower he was carrying on his back a second ago, but will also, but gives him a little bit of a contrast to make his head pop a little more. About like that. And I think that looks good. It's just a matter of moving the arms around and positioning him however you want. And there he is in robot mode. You can give him his two little pistols. Or like I said, you can keep them stored in the back part of the shoulder armor. He's got a ball joint head. Actually, no, it's not. It's an up and down swivel and a side to side swivel. Ball joint shoulders, the hinge here for transformation. You can raise those or lower them. The ball joint in here. You've got a hinge right up here to connect the arm to move it in and out, as well as a ball joint just below that into the actual shoulder piece. He does have a bicep swivel, hinged elbow. There's that rotating disc for the arm piece. The fists themselves don't have any articulation in the fingers, but they are on a ball joint. So again, you can get a lot of decent angles on the fists. Waist swivel. You've got the side to side and front to back hip swivel or hip joints. Does have a thigh swivel. The hinge knee, again, you've got the hinge down here for transformation in the foot, but he does actually have an actual knee as well. And the foot is on a ball joint in here, so you've got some front to back, as well as a decent range of ankle tilt. It's mostly blocked by the armor, not the actual joint itself. The one thing that I do wish about this guy was the shoulder armor comes back quite a bit. It's fairly big, and it looks okay from the front. And you can kind of, and again, you've got, with enough joints, you can angle them however you want for your desired effect. I do think it would have been neat if there had been a joint back here to allow this back half to kind of flip down. But one, that would cause some conflict with the arm armor, and also would have added to the parts count. That was something that I brought up when I was shooting the video for him. But he's got his regular kind of Bumblebee-esque face, and you can also swap out. He's got the visored toy Bumblebee face / Goldbug face. And that's very simple. You just take a screw to the back of the head here. Just unscrew the head, pull the front half off, slap this one on. And I'll do that in a moment. But first I want to do a real quick comparison just to show you how large he is. And with that, I've got Masterpiece Bumblebee. He's a slightly brighter yellow, you can see. But roughly the size, roughly deluxe size. A little shorter than the deluxe, but a little bit more complex than current deluxes. But yeah, it's a decent looking bumblebee. I like the design. I like the way the chest ends up with that windshield still sitting there. And a nice little bumblebee. I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and pop the other head on and we'll show that off. And here he is with the visored head, which I personally prefer just because I always kind of dug that face mask visored look anyway. And also, like, this head Bumblebee looks a little bit more mature and war-torn than he really was on Cybertron. That's a personal thing. It's not a bad Bumblebee sculpt. But I do really dig that visored head. So yeah, there it is, CT001 Skiff. He's a fun toy. I do wish that, like I said, I do wish that these were slightly smaller front to back. They're kind of big, massive shoulder pads on an otherwise fairly compact bot. I love the way that this whole thing collapses onto his back. Although, again, my one minor complaint transformation-wise is with all these swivels and ball joints here in the shoulder, just posing him and moving him around, it's real easy to knock these out of place. That's probably my one minor gripe. But once you get them all set up and looking good, I think it's a good looking figure. So yeah, there it is, CT001 Skiff. Pretty neat.